Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Friday, May 14th, 2021. My name is Rich, and joining me once again this week is Bijan. How you making out?
Yes! We are back, my man! Feeling great. Feeling better than ever. Love listening to your wonderful voice once again, my man. And hello, everyone. I bet y'all missed us, but I bet y'all probably didn't. You're like, oh my God, here we go again.
A new season kicks off, and these jokers are back. Yes, we are back. We are going to be covering this season once again. And we're going to be starting this week with the ANW Women's Championship.
Yeah, man. Hey, fun. I love the fact that they always have these like neat little things like to go right before the season. Kind of like a little reminder, like a teaser. Like, ooh, you missed us. Here's a little teaser of what we did last year.
It's kind of genius because I do like, the off season goes for quite a while. You kind of get out of the pace and you're like, am I still into Ninja? Like, I honestly have to remind myself, like, why is it I love this show? And they do a good job of bringing you right back in. Like, all right, They freaking made me cry. I do, like, why in this episode? Like, how? There was no even real emotional segments or anything. Like, it gets me. It gets me right in the feels.
Yeah, I'm curious what part you cried in. I'm sure there is a part that I'm just, I'm heartless, but, dude, this was fun, though. I felt like, I feel like if this went at the end of last season, I'd probably be over it. But kicking off this season, I found it refreshing. I really enjoyed kind of like the reminder of like that twister. I forgot what it was called, Sidewinder or whatever. Like that obstacle is a beast, man. And some of these other obstacles were like crazy looking hard.
Yeah, the course is cool. I think the twister thing, it's called... scroll down. Cheat. Check the notes.
Wait. Before you do, everybody at home, let's be real. You do not remember the name of this obstacle. Like, you might have watched this and remembered, but before it, you did not remember the name of any of these obstacles. Don't front.
Yeah, I doubt it. Beehive, maybe. Corkscrew is a good name.
Kind of... that one's easy.
Yeah, it's called Corkscrew, which that's a good name. That's a really
good name.
So, it's a great obstacle. I feel like they turned it down. Like, it doesn't spin as fast as it was during the regular season. But that's
that what it is?
Yeah, that's my guess.
I was sitting there telling my wife, I was like, yo, these women are legit because like this was like dominating everybody. And like her and I were going back and forth. Like maybe it's like a lot of the other competitors are like heavier and maybe like that makes it harder or maybe it's just experience of the fact that they've been on it before at this point. Like we were going back and forth trying to like, scientifically dissect what was going on. It never really occurred to me as like, oh yeah, they probably just nerfed it.
Yeah, I think they did. I could be wrong. I mean, all of those things are true, right? They do once they get their hands on an obstacle, they tend to get better pretty quickly. It could just be that, or it could be the weight thing. But I get the impression it was like it just didn't rotate as fast. It didn't drop as fast. It had more tension in it. But
yeah, and that could really make a big difference. It's just one of those things. It's been a year, man. I don't remember how fast it was last year. I remember It was like crazy hard, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was yanking, Matisse in half as he had hit the bottom of it. So I'm thinking, something changed. But I don't say that in any way, shape, or form to take away from the performances because they did awesome. It was a great episode full of some great runs.
Yeah, let's be real. If we were on that thing, we'd be in the stands by now. Like it would just throw us to like. So.
Yeah, I'd be in recovery for sure. All right, so let's go through it. We can do every run. I think I haven't really had much problem with that. It's been a while. Let's shake off the rust.
Look at this. We going old school, guys. We going old school with Rich, doing every single every single run.
Yes, we are.
I mean, let's be real. It wasn't that many runs.
Nah, it was fine. So that makes it a little bit easier too. So if we look at, let's go through the course. We had shrinking steps, off the hook.
Yep.
That seems pretty good. It does not seem like a terribly difficult obstacle, I guess, maybe just by comparison to the rest of the course. But that's kind of in the spot for
I
that
think
type of obstacle.
for this level of competition, it's not difficult, right? Like if we were to see in real life, it'd be like, no, like that is crazy hard.
Right.
But when you're talking about like the championships and the women, like the pedigree of ninja for this, yeah, it's kind of like a gimme.
Beehive, obviously legit. Had some problems with that. I like that obstacle. I think it's good.
I forget. But sorry to cut you off, but I forget. Was Beehive like worse than the? I almost called it nunchucks. Not the nunchucks, but you know what I'm talking about, like the thing that replaced like the really hard one. Was Beehive really dominant last year, or was it like kind of like an easier version of it? What was the name of? You know what I'm talking about, right?
You're thinking of Wingnuts?
Wingnuts, yes.
I don't know if it replaced it or not, but like, yeah, this Beehive was, in last season, and it took some people out for sure. It definitely caused some problems. I don't think it was any harder or less difficult in this episode than it was.
Okay, so it's kind of like the same.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was tweaked about the same. Burnt rubber. That's a good balance obstacle, I think.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, this could be controversial. Some people like, really hard balance obstacles, but in my opinion, it's like, I wouldn't definitely say this is an easy balance obstacle, but I like an episode where the balance obstacle isn't just like taking out everyone. That kind of annoys me.
Yeah, it should test them, but not take them out. Sideways, good obstacle, right? Where they could grip both sides of the boards, kind of front to back.
I'll be honest, I was surprised by how like difficult it was for a lot of these ninjas. I mean, maybe I just overlooked it, but man, it proved to be quite difficult for a lot of them. I think it's really that middle part, right, where you're kind of like changing your body trajectory.
Yeah, and the downward, I didn't understand what they were saying at first because they mentioned it a couple times, and I was a little slow on the uptake. But the descent, I can see what they're talking about, why that would be harder when I gave it some thought, right? So when you're coming down, you've got to get your hand down and around and back up onto the right spot and time it all perfectly. So coming down does seem like it would be a lot harder.
Yeah, brilliant point. I mean, it seems easy for the people that know how to do it, right? But like, that's a lot going on in literally split second.
Yeah, and speaking of seems easy, it's the warped wall, right? You kind of overlook it until you stand in front of one and realize that is not a gimme obstacle by any stretch.
I mean, on this episode, it might as well have been just like 4 feet, right? It's like, right. Oh, man, they just getting up that thing. But no, like, man, I cannot tell you guys, for those that have never seen a warped wall, it is so big in real life.
And I like that we finally progressed to the point. There's like, and it's the 23rd woman up the warped wall. Like, we're past that. Let's just move on. They got it down. Yeah. It's not notable anymore. They've got it.
Yeah, and that's really cool to hear. I mean, it's still an accomplishment, right? But it's cool the fact that there's been so many female ninjas where it's not like, oh my God, let's make a big old to-do about it. It's like, I don't know. I'm just happy where these women ninjas are like just so darn legit. And honestly, I'll get into it later, but I feel like this, more than everybody else, and even the winner, this episode was like the coming out party for a particular rookie female ninja. Well, I shouldn't say rookie, but like a less well-known rookie ninja than the others.
All right. I think I know what you mean.
A teaser for later.
So we look at the back half of the course. We had no editing.
Dude,
sorry, everybody.
I must say there was a clear ramp up in difficulty, right?
Yeah. So then we hit the salmon ladder, which is always good, and corkscrew, which we've talked about. That's the one where they spin them around on that wheel, which is a great obstacle.
I swear it was the best obstacle from last season. They need to have it back just because of the wipeouts in general were so beautiful. Yeah,
I'm surprised people didn't injure themselves on that, or we didn't see any that I can remember.
It's bound to happen, but until it does, I mean, please just keep it back.
Just keep going.
It's the closest to wipeout with the ridiculous falls.
It's
just amazing.
That's actually a great point. That's exactly what it feels like, almost a old school wipeout.
Yeah.
The dungeon, which is just looks ridiculously difficult.
No, thank you. And not only that, but think about all the obstacles they did leading up to that. And their forearms are probably completely worn out. And then just the meanest, like screw you obstacle from like the people that created this course being like, oh, you made it this far? Okay. Now it's time to get real. Like that just does not look fun in any way, shape, or form. But I think you agree with me, my man. One of our favorite obstacles or types are the ones where you just surely have to just use your grit and determination to get through it. And that is the epitome of one.
It is 100% that. You get to see them climb up the wall to start off, and it basically like resets them, right? They climb the wall, and then all of a sudden they're at the beginning of the obstacle again.
But in a way worse way, like where the nunchuck poles are like completely slanted vertically down, and you have to grip on those like with your sweaty palms, completely blown out forearms. You've already done how many runs at this point? Because remember, they did it all in one night, so they are completely spent. And they have to, like, hold themselves up like that. Like, oh, no thank you. Like, that just, I looked at that and I could not, like, I've tried, like, those types of bars before, and I can barely do one transition and be on it for maybe 5 seconds. Like, I cannot tell you how impressive it is for these women to do that. No thank you. And that must be so painful.
And a few of them have no issue, right? Like, it's just, like, locked on grip. Like, they just go along it like it's nothing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they might as well just like hang off, wave to their family, eat a burger. Like, ugh, makes me upset. It's like, come on, man. Like, make it at least difficult.
And then it ends with Spider Trap, which I think is a great final obstacle. I hope they keep that one around for a while.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's a nice reminder sometimes to like, oh yeah, those little plank thingies that they lift up, those things are heavy. Because they were struggling, and I don't blame them, to be fair, because like they went through a lot just to get to that point. But yeah, it made for some really good drama.
We always want that drama on that last obstacle, right? We've had other ones over time that have been like just too hard, right? Like the invisible ladder and stuff, where it's like, okay, I don't want them failing on the last obstacle almost every time either. I think this has that right balance of difficult. You can see the strain, but it's not another arm obstacle that's just ridiculous on top of everything else they've already done. It's it's kind of a combination of skills. It's still got that heft and the drama of having them try to push past each wall as they move their way up. I think it's got everything.
Yeah. That said, for the real final obstacle or whatever, the power tower, I'm officially out on it, my man. I mean, it's fine, but like you can't do it twice. We need it to be just more diverse, maybe with the things that it's testing or something. I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, this sucks. Okay. It's like, well, whoever is the rock climber, like, I wouldn't say they're instantly going to win, but they clearly have an advantage, and I'm just like,
I literally nodded off. I'm on board. Like, I was not... It's just not that engaging. It's kind of cool. It's got its moments, but overall, it just feels like... Another podcast I listen to, the person always complains about Formula One, that they love Formula One, but whoever is in first place after the first position, or if a certain person's ahead after the first position, it's like it's over. I kind of feel like that with the Power Tower, even though we had a great counter example in this episode. In general, you get an early lead and it's done. You're going to win.
And we've seen two like shows similar to ANW that do it better, honestly. I mean, we've got Ultimate Beastmaster, right? Which, in my opinion, is the best when it comes to like the final form. But also, I mean, let's be real. I have my issues with Titan games, a lot of issues. But at the very least, that final whatever challenge for Titan games, way better than this.
Yeah, see, those are scaled up, right? Like those are scaled up to a point that I don't think is reasonable in the like a city finals type situation. I know this is the women's championship, but that's... If
only there was a racing show featuring American Ninja Warrior courses then. I mean, yeah. there are options, my man. Like,
that's what I was going to get at, right? Like, why not leverage something you already have in place that's incredibly exciting? It has them head-to-head. Like, it's got everything. Like, I don't understand the lack of focus on that. I think that would be, if you want to legitimize it as a support, as a sport rather than so much of a reality show, like Team Ninja, Ninja versus Ninja, whatever we're going to call it, is that sport version of this.
Yeah, and I don't want to be nitpicky. Like, you can continue with the power tower, but there needs to be more versatility in it, and maybe make it longer. Like, there's got to be more options for drama, in my opinion.
Yeah, there is. Okay, that is all the courses. All the obstacles. Let's take a look at the runs.
Yeah, and I know you want to go run by run, but let's be real, man. We got to fly through like at least the first like half course rounds, because like I don't know what like
no,
really is there much to say.
Every minute detail. No. I don't mean to say that. Yeah, we'll skip through. I'm not gonna be that mean to everybody and make you have to listen to every single moment of the show. But right off the bat, so the first person to take the course was Ashley Mcconville. Who did you remember her off the bat?
Not really. I'm trying. Hang on. I'm trying to, like, I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to remember what she looks like.
She had really long curly hair. So the thing with her.
No, sorry, don't remember her at all.
I didn't at first, but this is the key.
Oh, it's a Bergstrom girlfriend. That is terrible. That I remember only for dating Bergstrom.
Dude,
but okay,
that's pretty bad. But here's the thing. I'm not sure
apologize, everyone, but that's.
I didn't remember that piece at all. But what's funny is Uncle David, right? So they leaned into her uncle as part of her story. That stuck out with me. And that's kind of the genius of this show, right? They pick something, they glom onto it, and it like gives you like a little flag, right? It points this little thing in your head so you can refer back to it and go like, oh, that person. Oh, that's the guy that likes cake. Yeah, that's like, there's always something you can kind of fall back on to remember somebody.
Yeah, and I like the fact that, you know, they didn't. Sometimes they can really milk it in an uncomfortable degree. They didn't do that, so that was completely fine. That was the other thing that, I remembered. Like, as soon as we finished talking, instantly pops on the screen, like, oh, okay, that's what I remember her by. But, I mean, if she continues to do well, I'm sure she'll stay in my memory of, like, okay, these are the feats of what she's done for me to remember her by. It's just more of her storyline is still being developed.
Yeah, I was just curious if she had stood out to you. And once she started taking the course... You want to
know who does? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, so she ended up going out on Sideways, but a great rookie season. She didn't get to continue on in this episode, but she's someone we'll have to keep an eye on and remember a little bit better next time, maybe.
Sure, and you know who I do remember because she just popped on my screen? Zuri Hall. Best sideline reporter ever, or whatever her role is. I love Zuri Hall. She's amazing.
Yeah, Zuri redefines what that role can be, and she does an amazing job. After Ashley McConville, we had Sandy Zimmerman, who is
this woman.
She's my age. Like, how is she my age and crushing this course like this?
I mean, she makes me want to just like start working out immediately. Like, oh man. I have no excuses. She is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, she had no problems on the course. Hit another buzzer. I'm curious about how long she's going to keep going here. Like for her to be doing that well, it just seems so out of the blue, right? Like, it's one thing when we look at somebody like Travis Rosen, who's been doing it for years, or others that have been around for quite a while, in their 40s. Like, she came through and just like stole the show, and now she's just like a fixture, and good for her, and so glad to have her.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to see her represent, like moms in general, but not only that, like just really, really fit, strong women that, I mean, well, I was going to say, like, she kind of does train American Ninja Warrior all the time, right? But I don't know. Something about her is just so likable. Like, you want to root for her because she kind of just stands out amongst, like, all the women being like, yo, she's awesome.
She's got
also those abs. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this woman, like, just...
incredibly fit. But I think you're right. I think one of the big things that's underappreciated is her enthusiasm, right? There's a genuineness to her. When she hits that wall and she pumps her arm towards Matt Nockbar, like, you feel it. You like her genuine excitement. Like, I did it again, and she's so happy to be there.
Yeah, she's just genuinely happy. Also, her family's just awesome. I love them. Like they're just so cute and so happy. And I forget, do her like oldest son and daughter train American Ninja Warrior? I feel like I've seen them before.
They run ANW Junior, yeah.
Okay, I figured, but I don't want to like. It's like I think so.
Yeah, and her husband ran a few years ago too. So, whole family does it. Next was Michelle Warnke, shocking fall of the night. I think that was she ended up going out on Beehive. I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years. Like I thought, as they were introducing her, I was like as they showed the list of all the ninja women, I'm like, okay, so who's gonna take this down? And I thought Michelle had a good chance at being the one standing on top at the end.
Yeah, I mean it's surprising. Only like I kind of just. When you kind of like glaze over, like, all right, they're going to pass this, they're going to pass this. I mean, but that's why these obstacles exist. Even though you think like, oh yeah, everybody's going to pass them. You never know, and you can't discount anything. And these freak accidents just happen. It sucks it happened to Warnke, but at the same time, it kind of adds to the respect of the Beehive, simply in the fact that it took out one of the greats.
Yep, and that's what we need. Like if this course was beaten by every single competitor, you would lose interest after the 6th or 7th run. Like it just completely numbs you to the whole experience. Mm-hmm. So it's good to have those failures as much as you don't want to see anyone fail. You kind of need it, right? You kind of need it to appreciate the difficulty. Next was Tiana Weberly, who ended up getting it done. She got another buzzer. She was, remember, if you remember, for a while, she was like, could never get a buzzer, right? She was always the 5th obstacle. Yeah. It's so good to see her actually hitting them now.
Yeah, I was really happy for her. Was this the part where you cried? Sorry, I'm more focused on like, when did you cry?
Yeah.
Was this the crying moment?
No, it was Megan Martin. It was a simple, stupid thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that would have been my second guess, but I didn't want to. Okay. Yeah. And I totally understand. But I was like, all right, so what's the drama point? Because she had, I think, the only storyline that was drama-filled. I might be wrong, but I think it was the only one.
Now you say that. Yeah, I appreciated that one with her and her mom and her grandmother.
It doesn't mean you're horrible for not crying.
Right. Yeah, I was hit unexpected in the next one. I hadn't properly braced myself was the problem.
Yeah.
So Jerry DeRilio ended up going out on Beehive as well. She was fast-forwarded. Which sucks. Jerry, I would love to go back. If anyone's got the time and the inclination, go back. Grab some screen caps. I feel like that's a great little Instagram or Twitter post. Because she makes the most expressive faces when people fall or have anything happen on the course. She just goes, like, way over the top. Like, she is just so involved in every run.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I honestly didn't notice, but I'm sure she did. Or she does.
Yeah. And next is the person I think you were going to bring up as the standout of the episode, Maddie Howard.
Heck yeah, man. Okay, star of this episode. Like, wow. I feel like I remember while watching her, I was like, okay. I remember she was like a standout like from the season, but then like they're talking about her and they reminded us like this is her, I think, only sophomore season, so second season.
Yeah.
And she doesn't train like full-time American Ninja Warrior or anything. So in my opinion, like at this point, a lot of competitors on American Ninja Warrior at this tier pretty much train like, full-time. And it's not like a bias or anything, but I kind of like, kind of low-key have like a little bit of respect for like the people that are able to get really far without being like a gym owner or anything like that. Once again, not discrediting anybody that does it, but it's almost like more impressive in a way of being like, just like a regular person, just trying out on the show. And I must say, just once again, standing out of she is amazing. Athletically a specimen. I mean, just look at her, right? Like she's fit as all heck, but like really she looks very comfortable and poised and figuring out these obstacles. Sometimes like a lot of these upper tier ninjas just get it. They look at an obstacle and they can immediately just figure out what they need to do with their body to progress through an obstacle. And she kind of has that one special skill with that.
Yeah, I can't help but think when I see her on the course, she kind of reminds me of what you've said about like Matisse Wadi in the past. Is like that the producers must just love him because he's this young, good-looking, talented guy that just kind of steals the course. I feel like Maddie is just everything that they want from the show. It's like
she's so likable.
She's likable. She's talented. She steals the screen. You can't look away. Like I feel like they just like she's got a handwritten invitation to the next 5 seasons if she wants to keep coming back.
Yeah. I mean, my wife pointed out because my wife who's like always like, whatever, like American Ninja Warrior, instantly like she was a fan of Maddie and was like looking up her Instagram and everything. She showed me a photo. I think Maddie is actually due for a baby this year, so I don't know if we'll be seeing her this upcoming season or not. I don't know when they filmed or anything else, but if we don't, I'm still really happy for Maddie. Like a very important thing in her life, I'm sure. But either way, I mean, she is a star in the making, and I know we'll be seeing her again. It's one of those things that annoys me with people where it's like, oh, they're a mom. Well, we won't be seeing them anymore. It's like, what the heck does that mean, dude? Like,
right.
I mean, look at Zimmerman or anybody else, but Maddie Howard, I mean, I can't wait to see her return. And one thing that I was thinking about while you're talking in terms of her likability, she kind of just reminds me of like the shucks like girl next door. Where you're like, oh, that's that's Maddie from down the street. You're like, hi, Maddie, and she can just be, like I could just see her and like instantly think that she's be like, hi, how's it going? Like just a sweet, nice person, and like a young face, just like, oh, there's Maddie. I don't know, I like her.
If it came out that she volunteered all these different places or was dropping off apple pies, the neighbors would be like, yeah, that makes sense. I totally get that.
That's like a perfect description, man. Watch like the cynic in me is like, no, she's terrible in real life, right? It's the exact
right.
Like no, but
oh, what an awful thought. But no, Maddie did amazing. She hit the buzzer with the fastest time to that point. And then we had Megan Martin take the course. And they pointed out that Megan hasn't hit a buzzer since season 8, and my jaw dropped. How?
I know, like, what?
Now, it's inflated. I realize that part of the sneaky thing that they're doing is because of the way they film this, right? So they make it seem like this was just filmed this year, but it's actually filmed last year. So she's not 4 seasons behind. It's just she missed it in 9, 10, and 11.
So it kind of feels like longer, but it wasn't actually that bad. Because I kind of had the same thing when I was double take. I'm like, really? It's been that long?
Yeah, it's still long. Anyway, you want to look at it because she was like buzzer after buzzer for years, and then to have it have a little bit of a dry streak, which is now over, completely ended. The drought is over. She has hit the buzzer once again. And yeah, that's where I broke. She get up on and everything was fine. This is the thing that she blindsided me. I feel like it doesn't count because I was blindsided. She's talking away, everything's fine, and then she saw her parents, and she broke in that moment because the drought it was over. It was all tied together, and I just geez, the season hasn't even really started. I don't even know if I consider this isn't even season 12 barely, and I'm already done.
Yeah, I mean, probably not a shock to anybody in particular that's done athletics, but, the mental aspect really plays a major factor, and I'm sure for her that was, like, a huge deal. Probably the good thing is it happened, at the very least, at the end of last season, so she had a good year of training not having that kind of, like, shadow over her head being like, oh my gosh, I didn't hit buzzer. Like, at least she went into this next year of training knowing that she was able to hit the buzzer, and even more. We'll get into that later, but, like, I'm really happy for her. She's just, like, a really nice person from everything I've heard about her in real life, and, I mean, I'm just super happy for her. More than anything else, like, these types of specials, yeah, it's a competition and everything, but I really care about, in particular at this point, like really the storyline for a lot of these ninjas and what they come out of it wise. And there was a lot of storylines coming out of this. Also, Jesse Graff's Black Lives Matter tattoo, dope.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm guessing it's like a pink or whatever on one, but dope.
yeah, they had those last year. It was Ninjas for Black Lives.
Ninjas for Black Lives, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Megan was really good. I like watching her grip on like sideways, right? So she has like C clamps, just like you see her lock onto things. I just feel like her hands are not coming off that. Like it's like there's no way for them to peel off in those situations. When she has a grip on it, it's done.
Yep. Hey, rock climbers are just next level with some of these obstacles, man.
We had a fast forward of Rachel Goldstein, one of the Fantastic Four. She had a bad fall on Beehive. Oh yeah, her bad fall was the one I think where her leg hit. It looked pretty nasty, but not like injury level, but like she's probably gonna feel that tomorrow. Alyssa Beard, second woman to clear a stage
surprise.
1. Yeah, ended up going out on sideways because she fell right at the end. Not quite far enough. It ends up the wall dumps her back into the water.
Hey, sometimes it's based upon luck because she could have ended up like Flex Lebreck, or Flex Lebreck could have ended up like Alyssa Beard.
Yeah,
we'll get into that later. But sometimes, I mean, I don't know how much of luck it is, but it kind of seems like there are aspects, at least to the falls, where it could be luck based.
Normally, I would say it's not luck, but these two falls specifically, Alyssa's and Flex's falls, kind of tell me that there is an element of that in there. Because even like she looked surprised, she didn't even know what happened. She was like, I don't know, I didn't like she didn't fall in the water, so she seemed to know, jumping ahead of it. Now sad to see Alyssa go out because she's always a top competitor. She has a strong contender to win the whole thing, so having her fall out there is disappointing.
The thing that sucks about her is simply we know there's so much more for her to show, and I really wish we were to have seen her, like at least try the second half. Maybe even I'm pretty confident she can probably get to the power tower and just see like what she has there. But I mean, that's the whole point of it. It's a competition, There's got to be, I guess, surprises for lack of a better term.
Yeah, and when you have like effectively an all-star episode, it's a little hard to get too disappointed because not seeing your favorite move on because like, oh, here's another favorite takes the course, so you're just there's always someone right behind them.
Yeah.
Because following her, we had Jessie Graff, who, man, oh man, I just biased. I think the whole fan base is biased towards her, but it's just like the excitement level just goes through the roof when she takes the course.
I mean, it's Jessie Graff. Come on, man. Like, you can't not root for Jessie Graff. What are you, a monster if you do? Like,
right.
So, yeah, Jessie Graff, she's amazing. We all know that. She lives American Ninja Warrior. She's one of the people that put it on the map in many ways. And for me, I guess because I'm in the know, I don't know if you know this, but it seems like Jessie won't be competing in this upcoming season of American Ninja Warrior, so it's kind of like me rooting for her a little bit more, just because it'll be a moment, another year till we see her again on the course.
Yeah, exactly. So she's not going to be competing this year, which really sucks, especially since it's due to an injury. Wish her all the best to get better, so we can see her come back and compete again. And I really wanted this for her because of that too. It was like, okay, so if she's gonna be out for a year, I'd love for her to be the first one to win the title.
Yeah.
She had no problems on the course. She's not super fast. She never really has been. So I wasn't too surprised to see her not taking the top time. She's not really one to speed through a course.
No, she's more of the. I don't know how to describe it. She figures out the obstacles. Like if there's a tricky obstacle, she's more built for that, or her style is more made for that.
Yeah, the harder they make the course, the more she stands out. Every time we have an obstacle that seems like nobody can beat, she's right in the one or two people that seems to manage to do it.
Yeah, wasn't she like the last man standing in one of the like city qualifiers? I was like took out everyone. Like she's more made for the weird ones.
So I don't know if I remember all the correct times, but there's I think 3 times where you can basically say that happened. So she was Oh, what was that ridiculous thing? The Hourglass Drop.
I know it was one where it was like in a stadium before the whole COVID season. Last season, there was like the season before where they tried out a stadium, indoor stadium, and that's where she was like the last man or the second last man standing.
She was one of the 3 to make it to the 9th obstacle, and she made it further on that obstacle than the 2 guys, but her time wasn't as good, so she was technically 3rd. But she went further.
You know what? I don't care about time. It's about how far you get on those obstacles, especially when it comes to the really hard obstacles that have like different elements. It matters about how far you get.
Agreed. All right, so we had fast forward of Janique Levitt. She did not get past Beehive. That was the ninja killer of the episode, strangely enough.
I mean, it would take me out, so I don't know. Can't say anything to that.
I just would expect Sideways to be the one to do it more than anything. And then Jessie Lebreck, who is absolutely amazing as always. Her fall was like one of the highlights of the episode. At the end of Sideways, she falls, hits just the right way on that wall, and lands on the mat afterwards. Looks a little confused, gets up and runs up the wall. Like, I basically had to replay to even know what happened and how she managed to make it through.
Yeah, she was completely bewildered. I think everybody was like, "Oh, wow!" You know, she just landed the right way, and it worked out for her. And I'm really happy because, as we saw, you know, it could be from being done in the first round or going all the way to the final round. And in many ways, Alyssa Beard might have been the same.
Yep, absolutely. So that was it. That was our preliminary round. That left us with 6 women moving on. Lebreck, Maddie Howard, Tiana Weberly, Jessie Graff, Megan Martin,
right?
and Sandy Zimmerman. Nope, it was 6.
Oh, 6, I guess.
Yep, they cut half the field after the first. So then they ran the whole course again, but the extended course this time.
But way harder, man.
Yeah.
Like, guys, so much harder. Like, they could have, I don't know, like, it went from like a 5 to like a 20. It was not a gradual climb.
Yeah, it was. I'd love to know how they ran, if they did run it on the same day or not. Like, that seems like a tall order. I guess they must have.
From the sounds of the commentators talking and everything, they ran it all on the same night because they kept referring to the fact of like they just or you know, at this point, especially when they got to the final obstacle, the climb, they're like, at this point they've done like 16 obstacles or whatever. So it's like, yeah, I think they filmed it all in one night.
Okay, so here's the thing though, Bijan. Like, think about it. Like,
also, Patty Jenkins, like, let's be real, Patty Jenkins doesn't have time to like be there 2 days in a row.
Right, and of course, that would give it more credibility than anything for me. But I mean, they're also pretending like it's 2021. They're also pretending like, what was the other thing? There was something else. Oh, that there's a cheering crowd there. So I mean, I'm not putting anything past them for as far as like they ain't exactly honest at all times.
Because of that, though, I don't put any like you know, like whatever is stock into them actually caring to give the ninjas time to rest and the production crew, you know, another day of pay and everything like that. They're like, no, you guys have like 4 hours to film all this. Get going.
Yeah.
Everything we're seeing right now costs money. So
it's true. Oh, I definitely don't think.
I'm sure they filmed it as quick as possible.
They wouldn't have taken 2 days just for this. Like, I will grant you that. I just didn't know how they tagged it together, put it together. But, all right. So then we had Maddie Howard, end up going out
being a beast once again. Like, Maddie Howard is amazing. I'm sorry, she is phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought she was going to do the whole thing. I'm like, it's her second season, and she's right at the top of the list with all these women, like, not just holding her own, but like excelling.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm excited to see Mommy Howard. Like, aren't you? Like, I don't know. When she comes back, like, next year, I like fully know she's going to be like destroying this course. And they're going to make the big old story about like, oh, she's a mom now. She's like taking over Zimmerman's spot of like being the resident mom ninja and all this stuff. But you know what? I am ready for Mommy Howard. Let's make it happen. I can't wait because I don't know how old she is, but she seems young, and she's going to be fit as all heck and probably running the course with a newborn on her shoulders or whatever. Just destroying this course. This is gonna be amazing. I love it. I can't wait to see her vignette. Like the baby just strapped on her on her back or whatever, just doing flips or whatever else she's doing.
Yeah, don't encourage them. Ninjas are crazy. They will do it all. I have no doubt. But yeah, congratulations to her, and looking forward to see her come back for sure. Sandy Zimmerman almost took it down. I thought she was going to do it, and I was going to be like jumping off of the couch if she did.
Oh man, I just want it to happen so bad. Zimmerman is just you can't not root for her. Like she's just so like not even the age or anything like that. Just I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't know how to explain it, but I just really, really want her to like just win the whole thing.
Yeah, I kind of do too. The only thing that makes me not say 100% is because I feel that way of almost every woman that takes a course. Because I was just thinking, I'm looking at Lebreck next. I'm like, man, I really like I was rooting for Jessie so hard, and I was like, I was rooting for the other Jessie, and then Megan, and I guess everybody. So,
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like you see all these like these young fit women in their 20s, like all this stuff, and then you got like Sarah Zimmerman, like like OG, looking like she can like outwork any of these women on the course. I want her like right on front of the billboards and everything, be like, yo, what's up? I'm Sarah Zimmerman. Don't ask me my age, but just know I will destroy you at any physical contest.
That's a great point. Yeah, there is something about that, right? There is something about when people can do that and you're not expecting it quite as much. Like we do expect it with her though. She is a specimen, so it's like not that surprising.
Look at her. I mean,
yeah, I was surprised when her grip strength gave out because I thought she could have had it. On the dungeon, she ended up going out on the 9th obstacle as well.
Yeah, I can't blame anybody for that obstacle. I mean, that thing is just nightmarish.
Lebreck took the course next, and really,
this was heartbreaking.
The story of this one is the final obstacle, the spider trap, and she is just pushing her way through it. Like you can see the strain, you can see her foot sliding, and I thought she had it. I thought for sure she was going to get it.
Yeah. I mean, these are the moments that I love, though. These are the memorable ones where she went through this incredible gauntlet, and she's almost there, but she literally just can't get the last little panel set, whatever it is. How much, do you remember how much, the weight was on those things?
I thought it was 50 pounds.
That's what I thought, too. So we'll presume it's 50, because that's what I was thinking in my head. That's not easy to do, to say the least, especially in that predicament. Like, it's real easy to be like, come on, you're almost there and all this stuff, but, man, that's a lot. But she almost got it. She was almost there, and it was a nice gradual build, and it made even what we saw later even more impressive.
Yeah, she is incredible. One of my favorites for sure. And just like the other Jessie, she's just next level, right? Like I feel like she just stands out from the pack in so many ways that you just think that she can do everything because she can. Mm-hmm. Megan Martin came after her, and I was really excited to see if she was going to be able to make it through because I really wanted to see her on the power tower, and thankfully she did it. She had no problems. Made it through, and beat the whole course. Ended up getting her buzzer. Second one for the night.
Yeah, I gotta apologize because this was the part where I don't know if I discredited Megan Martin. Or that's too strong of a word, but I don't know. I just kind of assumed that at some point, it was something was going to catch her. And it was a nice, pleasant surprise to me that she was able to get through the whole course. And I guess it's one of those things where it was a nice reminder being like, no, that's Megan Martin. She's like one of the legends of this entire sport. And she's one of the best female ninjas in the world still. And yeah, nice surprise. But I have to own up to the fact where it's like, it surprised me just in the fact where I was like, whoa, she actually made it all the way. Yeah, shame on me.
I think with Megan, what it is, and this is probably not fair, this is just based on mainly like ANW stories and things more than anything else. It almost goes back to the point that you were making before, like how you appreciate people that it seems like ninja is secondary for them, right? It's not their full-time gig. With Megan, I always get the impression that she is a climber and that is her focus, and all these other things are her focus. And ninja is kind of her hobby, her side thing. And she just relies on that natural ability and her incredible strength to get through. So in some sense, it is surprising when she succeeds, just because you just feel like it's not her entire focus.
Yeah, that's a really good point. She's a fitness model also now, and she probably has a million other things that's going on.
Yeah, again, that could just be story feeding into it. Like we have to, we're drinking the Kool-Aid for the show for sure.
Yeah, I don't follow her life. I don't know.
So then we had Tiana Weberly take the course. I was kind of laughing at them. They were, and it kind of relates to what we were just talking about. It seemed like Matt and Akbar were downplaying her upper body strength and saying like how she's probably not really, that the dungeon wouldn't be in her wheelhouse or something along those lines. It's like, have you seen the size of Tiana Weberly's arms?
Really?
Like, yeah, they were making some comments about like, she's a track. They're playing into her being like a track person, not so much like a climber. They were kind of, it seemed like they were downplaying her upper body strength going into the dungeon. And like, guys, I think you need to open your eyes.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, she's a track person, but I mean, yeah. It's one of those things where if you never even like saw her perform, just look at her. Like,
right.
That said, she fell in the dungeon. So, I mean,
She
they
did.
were right, but it's not to a discredit of her, because I wouldn't have lasted a single second on that thing. Yeah, I don't know. Tiana Weberly is very strong. I don't know what else to say.
And then we had Jessie Graff take the course, and awful feeling to see her fall on sideways. Didn't make it through to the finals, but again, we've talked.
I don't know. I wasn't surprised, to be honest with you. Just knowing the fact that like she wasn't able to train fully going into last season and everything else. Like I was just, it's at the point now. I hate making this comparison, but like Casey Catanzaro, where I'm just thankful for any time that we do have with Jessie Graff, because she has so many like other things going on in her life that, are bigger, sorry to say, but are bigger than American Ninja Warrior, that I'm just thankful for any time that we do get with her.
Yeah, I guess. Still very disappointing to see her go out like that. I didn't expect her to win the whole thing ultimately, because again, speed isn't really where she excels, so I didn't think the power tower was going to really play to her strength. So ultimately, I don't think it mattered, except that I just like seeing more of her, and I would have liked to see her go to the finals. But instead, we had the final four: Megan Martin, Jessie Lebreck, Tiana Weberly, and Maddie Howard. Now go ahead.
Now, before you continue, because I wrote down on a paper before they started this, I was like, who do you think is going to win out of these four going into it? Did you like have an inclination?
I 100% thought Lebreck was going to steal it easily.
So this was the interesting part. I thought, incorrectly so, Megan Martin was going to win it. And the reason I thought this was because I remembered this power. Well, they just like showed the power tower. I was like, oh, well, in my opinion, like a rock climber or somebody like that is going to have a clear advantage. And to be fair, that's not why she won it. But also I remembered Megan Martin winning the Wolfpack Ninja Tour. I think that's what she won, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And so I was like, all right, Megan has got that upper body those chops. And she, like, I guess surprised to me, I remember when she won it, she has that speed. So I thought Megan Martin was winning it, but low key in my head, I was like I guess my brain said Megan Martin, but my heart kind of felt like Lebreck was going to win the whole thing. But I was curious. I legit wrote it down, man, because I was like, oh, I'm going to look like an idiot. It's going to be a Lebreck, 100%. But there are reasons, and this is why I'm bringing this up, is because there are reasons why I instantly thought, and to be fair, it's not based solely on the fact that she's a rock climber, but I looked at this power tower, and I just feel like if you particularly train transitions and climbing upwards and things like that, and grip strength, you're going to have a clear advantage. Now, Lebreck also has those talents, and that's why she was also able to make it to the finals. But I just feel like there needs to be more versatility in terms of like balance and speed, and not even that kind of stuff, but like there's other elements of American Ninja Warrior, like parkour, that you can do. And yeah, you could say like, oh, well, they ran along the little side thingies, but really that didn't make a huge portion of the course or of the power tower.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix it. Like there's a few things I could do, but it's an attempt to have some of those things, but it's just, I don't know. It's not enough, and it's just a weird thing where someone can get ahead, and there's very little you can do to catch up once they kind of get a few hands ahead of you onto those ledges, right? Like it adds to the drama because it does take a couple swings to get moving, so that it seems like that maybe you can make up the time, but there is one way to do it, apparently. One swing instead of two. Worked quite well. I don't know.
It works well when it works. Let's be real. I remember other people trying it and did not work out for them. But in my opinion, if you're behind, you got to go for it like that.
Yeah, we saw the men doing some like crazy things where they wouldn't even take a swing. They just try to like, it had like one person successfully do it, another person not. And I can't remember which was which, where they jumped over, just barely touched the last ledge and like jumped off of it without even taking a single swing on it. I think it was Matisse did it one time, and Jesus, I think it's like the third time I mentioned him on this episode. Him and I can never remember that guy's name.
I mean, I don't remember who did it, so I mean.
But yeah, I don't know. Power Tower needs fixing. You guys got to sort it out. Do something new. It's too late now. They already recorded it, so hopefully it's better.
You know, rewatching it in the background, I just like realized there's a bunch of fiancés. Like, what's up, people? Get married. Like, what's going on here?
Bunch of slowpokes.
Watch, they're already married. I mean, this was filmed a year ago, but I'm just saying, like, right. Oh, both Megan Martin and Lebreck got fiancés, and I feel like I've been calling Lebreck's fiancé her fiancé forever.
I thought he was husband. No, I thought they did get married.
I mean, they could have been. It's been a year.
No, I mean even before.
But right now, like on this broadcast, they're calling him the fiancé. I mean, it could just be he'll forever be called the fiancé, Lebreck's fiancé. Like that's his name now, even if they're married.
Right. Well, at least he's gonna have to put in a pool, right? That was their little shtick for them. She wanted to get a pool. Anyway, so we had the races.
Storyline. Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was supposed to engage
us.
us. Yeah. All right. So first up, we had Megan Martin versus Maddie Howard. There was it was a race, and Megan won it. What do we say about the Power Tower? Like, what do you say?
A person won. I mean, yeah.
I got nothing. Megan got ahead and then she won, like as you do.
Yeah. But props to Maddie. Like really, she in my opinion, was a standout this whole episode. Maddie came in relatively new compared to all, like, in terms of experience to all the other women, and really made a name for herself competing in the finals against, like, Megan Martin of all people, and got really close. It was only literally a one swing difference between the two. So, I mean, wow. Props to Maddie, and I can't wait to see what Mama Howard has in store.
Yeah, incredible showing. Very respectable finish.
Maybe gonna come out with like a 6-pack and like, just like arms like a beast. Probably like can bench like, I don't know, her dad or whoever. Like that's gonna be a fit baby.
Entirely possible. But we had after that Jessie Lebreck versus Tiana Weberly. It kind of could have gone either way. That was a really close race, and Jessie ended up bringing it home. And let's move on to the finals. There's not much to say. Megan Martin versus Jessie Lebreck.
I ain't got nothing to say. I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to stretch that out. There's just the power tower is what it is. They go out, and one's slightly faster, and then that's it. There's no
it's a
real
power
drama.
Tower. It takes longer to spell my name than it is to like actually watch the power tower.
There's only like manufactured drama. It feels like. Right, where it's like it seems like they're close, but they're not really that close at times.
Yeah, it's like those Survivor, like whatever, Survivor obstacle challenges where it's like a team is clearly far ahead.
Yeah.
They gotta like panel shift back and forth. It's like, okay, sure.
So it came down $50,000.
Hey, props to Lebreck. I remember Lebreck flew up the stairs at the beginning. I mean,
yes.
I guess at least there's one element of like showing off her track skills. That was amazing.
Yeah, she seemed untouchable on the stairs. She got ahead. But Megan pulled off the victory here. I thought she had lost. I will admit this is the one part where it completely takes away my theory that there's not much she can do, because Megan definitely made up the time on the shelves, just being able to just do them all in one smooth transition from one to the next. So definitely earned.
In particular, she did. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say she definitely earned the championship. Right? It wasn't. It was a long battle through all these different obstacles, and to take out Lebreck from behind is no small feat.
Yeah, and she really did a feat that's incredibly difficult to do. The final two pillars she did in one swing. She just swung and launched herself, and she did it twice in a row, which is very difficult to do because, I mean, it's really difficult when you usually catch yourself, you break your momentum, but she literally just kicked her whole body up and flew forward. Not a second swing or anything. Just kick your whole body up and fling yourself forward, and did it twice. Amazing. She earned that.
And what's especially difficult in these, I think they could all do that. Not all, but a good number of them could do that on a fixed shelf. But these are dropping each time they jump too. So for her to be able to do that in one swing off of a shelf that's dropping as she's in the middle of doing it, like, very, very impressive.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was the kickoff to season 12. Women's Championship.
Fun. Now the next season's happening at the end of this month, but do you know if there's any other specials like coming up? Like, is there like, I'll be honest, I don't remember what happened between this and the previous season. Like, have they already done ANW? Well, I guess they can't do ANW versus the World due to pandemic things. So
yeah, I realized that.
Is this just it?
When I saw this announced, I was like, oh, what happened to ANW versus? Oh, right. Yeah, I guess we really couldn't do that this year or last year.
Yeah, like no way they're doing Australia or...
Yeah.
That's just not happening.
New Zealand wins just from default. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I think
I see what you did there.
It's going to be a big gap until... Because, New Zealand's the only ones that can compete. Yeah, I think we're just waiting for the season now. So we'll get to the first official. I haven't been following. I don't know how they filmed it. I think it's just the one location thing again. All the same kind of things
I'm pretty
applied.
sure they did the same because I mean regulations and everything like that were still happening. Probably in I believe they filmed it in February or March or something like that. Like regulations were still happening, and let's be real, it's good on them to be safe and smart. And I didn't have much issues with the format of like the indoor thing from last season. Watch, like I played back and my whole problem was the format, but I don't think that was the issue. And in particular, I'm curious because their big thing this year is 16-year-olds. I'm sure there's other elements that I'm unaware of, but they're lowering the age gap again, and that can really bring in a lot of really fun dynamics because the younger we go, if you remember watching the regional courses, like some of these kids are very, very talented. And the younger you go, you're dealing with people with a very young, or not young, lightweight, which allows them to have a really long period of time of holding up their body. So we can see some really interesting dynamics with obstacles and tackling obstacles, in particular when it comes to the ones that drain your grip strength and, like you're just holding yourself up in many ways.
Yeah, I know ANW Junior had all kinds of weird surprises for us when we talk about like for the younger people and the things they could manage to do, just catching themselves by one arm in places and doing strange things. So,
amazing show, absolutely amazing show.
It will be different. It will change things up. I'll admit I saw some saltiness from some of the ninjas about them dropping the age down to 16. Like there was.
Yeah, they can be salty. I'm not here for old grumps being salty. Whatever. Like I am here all for, like make it young. The show, it really skews young anyways. Like I'm happy for all the young ninjas that have probably been training their entire lives. Because I mean, let's be real, their lives are, at this point not long. And, yeah, I could say that because a 16-year-old, I'm literally twice your age, and I don't know. I'm happy for them. It's going to be weird seeing, in my opinion, kids running the course, but at the same time, I'm excited to see what they can do.
God, I'm 3 times the age of a 15-year-old.
We're old, man. What can I say?
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to circle back to the beginning of the episode with that first woman who took the course, Ashley Mcconville. She talked about how she was inspired by Casey Canzaro's run in 2014, 7 years ago when she was 13. And I'm like, wow.
Oh God, I almost puked in my mouth. Oh my God. Oh, I think I sprouted like 5 gray hairs right now.
Isn't that crazy?
That hurt my soul. The other day somebody called Nas like that old school rapper, and I just like died inside. And it's just like, it hurts, everyone. It hurts getting old. I don't know what else to say. And I feel like Rich and I, man, we're gonna really feel our age this new season, huh? It's gonna be Armchair Ninja Podcast, the season where we're really in our armchairs.
Yeah,
them darn youngins back in my day.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we're doing it again. Thank you for agreeing to do this again. I know your life is busy and mine's busy, but this is so much fun. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's fun, guys. Don't expect a nice polished thing, but we're gonna make it as polished as can be. Hey, Rich, we didn't have any mess ups this run. Let's make it continue, right?
I mean, that's not bad for how rusty we are. I think we did pretty good. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Not gonna have a ton of editing. You guys don't have to listen to a bunch of silence or weird little flipping around. I think we did all right. But if you'd like to reach out to us, if you know some ninjas from this season that didn't get the call, I know there's some controversy around that. If you have any inside scoop that, like, I don't want to know results, don't know spoilers, but if there's anything like that you want to throw our way before we record episode 1, you can shoot it over to me, and you can reach me as... wow, I'm out of practice. All right, you can email me at rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151. At this point, I can't remember the last time I opened Twitter, so really hit me up on Instagram if you actually want, to hit me up.
All right, thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all. We did it! No mess ups. Yes.